Hello, so this is vlog number 2 for storytelling. We read the Butterflies in Formation book by Professor Johnson, and I actually really enjoy your book because I remember reading it last year for marriage and family communication, and it's actually one lesson that we did that really kind of stuck with me because it relates a lot to I guess not just to me, but I guess to everybody because it's talking about stress and anxiety. And personally, I struggle with anxiety and I stress out myself out a lot. So, reading through it and kind of writing down concepts was really interesting to me. And actually, I enjoyed doing it because I think I was learning as I was going. I was applying it to myself. But yeah, Butterflies Information is a book that talks about dealing with stress and how to manage your anxiety. Um, in what ways I have to perform, or the book was talking about, and it can be like a variety of different things. Like when I first think of performing, I think of obviously a class presentation or in our storytelling class presenting stories. I struggle a lot with it. Even though I'm a communications major, I will just never get over the fact of not even public speaking. I can do public speaking. It's talking in front of a small group of people, like class presentations, for some reason just really just stress me out to the max. But it's weird because in big settings I'm okay, but in class, I stress myself out. If that makes any sense. And then another kind of form of performing that I thought about immediately was or in real life, applying it to myself, was softball. And I never really thought about stressing out as softball wise. I usually don't get nervous before games. I usually am pretty good about handling it, but recently, I guess in more recent years, since my injuries and my ankle surgery that I had over the summer, I find myself stressing a lot or having anxiety that I'm not going to perform as well as I could if I didn't have my injuries, because I have this, like I said, this fear of not being good enough, if that makes any sense, which is exactly what the book was talking about, is letting those feelings creep in. And uh um kind of how we talk about don't one of the points of the book, it says don't catastrophize unrealistic worst case scenarios, realize that you can prepare for simple situations. That's kind of one point that I kind of that stood out to me when thinking about that. Also, the banish the what ifs, misplaced, and talking about misplaced focus, meaning what if this happens? What if this happens? Or in a class presentation or in softball, what if I mess up? What if I don't throw it how I'm supposed to? What if da 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 da? And then as far as public speaking goes, when it talks about who am I focused on? My listener. What am I focused on? My message. I mean, what am I trying to get across to you? And that is what I need to tell you. And I learned this from entrepreneur David Ibarra, from watching one of his speeches. He talks about that everything that you're saying, or every presentation you do, someone is going to take away, whether it's you do good or you do bad or whatever. Someone is always going to take away something from your presentation. Somebody always has something to learn. So talk to them as if you're teaching a lesson, or as if they have something like it talks about here, my message. They want to hear your message, so get it across and don't worry. Straightforward. Same thing for softball. Sorry, I have my notes written down here because there's a lot that I wanted to talk about. Simple formula. Relax, breathe, control your inner monologue. Speak truth to yourself, act on that truth, and that equals a calmer mind, which I struggle with a lot because when I get anxiety, I think this is a lot of people, I tend to overthink a lot. And I start to stress myself out that way, and that's when the stress starts to come in. Yeah, healthy habits for calm mind. And this was actually in my notes from when we did it a long time ago, but I thought it was notable to mention here. Resolve to be positive. It's a choice. Just relax and declutter your schedule, which are all things that I need to do. And then you can do it. It's okay to ask for help, which is another something that I struggle with because even in my classes right now, I'm really, really struggling, and I've been reluctant to reach out because I do need help. Um, and it's really hard for me to ask for help because I feel like I can do everything myself and I can't. And so just realizing that I can have a calmer mind if I just reach out and ask for help, and people are willing to help you. Then you relieve all that stress. But yeah, those are just some. I really actually really enjoyed this book, and I just need to, like the book says, just relax and learn to deal with things from a different perspective rather than going at it as in like an anxiety type of way. So yeah, those are just some of my thoughts from the book.